Hey everybody, day 11 of Math with Grandma. Our riddle today from Grapes of Math. It's a breeze. Sometimes when the sun is hot, a fan is all a lady's got. The gentle motion of her hand brings cool relief that feels just grand. So, how many dots adore the fan? Add them quickly if you can. Instead of seeing groups of three, count by fives, and it's a breeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15. We could have counted by groups of three. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I can add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 and get 15, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 and get 15. Or I can say 5 times 3 is 15, or 3 times 5 is 15. How fast is it? Let's fly. This is a pin-tailed swift. It's a type of bird. The pin-tailed swift is the fastest bird when flying across the sky. It can fly 100 miles per hour. Swift is a good name for that bird. Here's a copy of the first plane that Orville and Wilbur Wright built. They actually have things about Orville and Wilbur Wright in Indiana and Ohio. We've gone through them now on our way to Michigan. Maybe one of these days we'll stop. But the first flight happened out in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Wilbur and Orville Wright built the first airplane more than 100 years ago. The original flight lasted only 12 seconds. They flew at a speed of 7 miles per hour. Birds were probably laughing at them. But today, airplanes can fly much faster and much farther. Money in the United States. What were the first gold American coins? Well, there were 3 different gold coins, each worth a different amount. The eagle is worth $10, the half eagle is worth $5, and the quarter eagle is worth $2.50. Gold coins continued to be used until 1934. I don't remember ever seeing one. What money was used after America became independent? An act of Congress in 1793 made foreign coins in circulation acceptable as American money, but many people were reluctant to use foreign coins because there wasn't an exact value to each coin. One coin that was acceptable was the Spanish dollar, sometimes called pieces of 8. Tanya Hobbins, 26 letters and 99 cents. So if I turn it's upside down this way. So one side is about the alphabet and one side is about the money. We're going to read the side about the numbers. One penny, 2 pennies. Hey, you guys could go to your piggy banks and get out a bunch of money and count with me. I bet you actually have 100 pennies in your piggy bank, because Grandma has given you at least that many through the years. 3 pennies, 4 pennies, 5 pennies, a nickel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies each equals one of the big silver nickels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies, or a nickel and a penny, equal the same amount. 7 pennies, or a nickel and 2 pennies, same equals 7 cents. 2, 4, 6, 8 pennies, or a nickel and 3 pennies, both equal 8 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pennies, or 1 nickel and 4 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pennies, or 2 nickels, or 1 dime. Each of these 3 things equals the same amount, 10 cents. A dime is much easier to carry, but it's also very tiny. It doesn't feel like it should be as much as this, but yet it is. 11, a dime and a penny. 12, a dime and 2 pennies. 13, a dime and 3 pennies. 14, a dime and 4 pennies. 15. Can you think of a couple ways we can make 15 with coins? You're right, I could use 15 pennies, or I can use 3 nickels. We count by fives. We did that the other day. 5, 10, 15. Or we can count a 10 and a 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. A dime and a nickel and a penny give me 16. A dime, a nickel, and 2 pennies gives me 17. A dime, a nickel, and 3 pennies gives me 18. Are you starting to see a pattern? $19, a dime, a nickel, and 4 pennies. Wait, 20, 4 nickels, 5, 10, 15, 20, 2 dimes, 10, 20. 21, 2 dimes and a penny. 22, 2 dimes, 2 pennies. 23, 2 dimes and 3 pennies. 24, 2 dimes and 4 pennies. 25. Remember what the big one is? Let's call a quarter. 25 cents is 1/4 of a dollar, which is 100 pennies. So I can have a quarter, 2 dimes and a nickel, 10, 25, 5 nickels, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. A quarter and a penny equals 26. How many pennies am I going to need to make 27 with that quarter? A quarter and 2 pennies equals 27. A quarter and 3 pennies equals 28. A quarter and 4 pennies equals 29. A quarter and a nickel, or 3 dimes, would equal 30. 30, 35. A quarter and a nickel, or a quarter and a dime, 35. 40, 25, 35, 40. A quarter, a dime, and a nickel. 45, 25, 35, 45. A quarter and 2 dimes is 45. Hey, 2 quarters gives me 50. Or I could have 5 dimes and counted by tens. 2 quarters and a dime equals 60. 2 quarters and 2 dimes equals 70. 3 quarters and a nickel equals 80. 3 quarters, a nickel, and a dime makes 90. And there are so many ways to 99. 50, 75, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, or 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And if I put out one more penny, I would have 100. 99 cents. Up. Jerry Pallotta and David Badazarski. Underwater counting. Even numbers. Okay. Odd numbers, I can't make even groups. There's always one left over. Like with our poor Joe, the extra bug, never could make it an even number. He was always the odd guy out. So if it's an even number, I can make equal groups, at least equal by 2s. So when I skip count, and I'm counting even numbers, I can start with 0, and I skip the 1, and I jump to 2. And I skip the 3 and go to 4. And I skip the 5 and go to 6. And I skip the 7 and go to 8. And I skip the 9 and go to 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Skip counting, even numbers. Underwater counting, even numbers. 0 fish, just a sea anemone. It doesn't count as a fish. All right. Whoa, that's a nasty looking critter. Glad there's only one of him. It's a green moray eel. These fish really have blue skin. They look green because they have yellow slime all over their bodies. Blue plus yellow makes green. Maybe it's too easy to count by ones. Let's count by even numbers instead. 2. There are 2 coral groupers. If you were this fish, people would say you have measles, chicken pox, or really cute freckles. So are we going to go 1, 2, 3? We said we were going to skip count by 2s. Let's see. If we were going to skip over 3, that would make 4. These 4 clown triggerfish are odd looking. While counting, please remember that the whole number ending in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are odd numbers, and even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, and 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here are 6 manta rays. It's hard to believe how large they are. They weigh up to 300 pounds, a ton and a half. From wingtip to wingtip, each can be as wide as 3 elephants. 2, 4, 6. What's going to come next? 8 sailfish. Billfish are a species of fish that have long sword-like noses. These 8 sailfish are a type of billfish. Sailfish can swim up to 70 miles an hour. That's fast. These huge sail-like fins allow them to make sharp turns at full speed. 8 sailfish. What's going to skip count next? Not 9. 10. These 10 harlequin tuskfish have bright blue teeth. Would you like to have blue teeth? We're going to skip 11 and go to 12. Notice the bright spots below the eyes of these 12 flashlight fish. The light actually comes from glow-in-the-dark bacteria that live on the fish. Batteries are not included. Okay, skip count over 13, and that's going to bring us to 14. Flying fish are a welcome sight for hungry sailors far from land or lost at sea. Who needs to go fishing? Flying fish have been known to land right on the deck of a fishing boat. These fish don't fly in the sky like birds. However, they can glide over the ocean, some for as long as a soccer field. Don't forget to count to 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Skip count 15. Go to 16. Crunch, crunch. If you go diving on a reef and see bite marks on the coral, that would probably be made by a parrotfish. A parrotfish have fused teeth that look like a beak. Their teeth are perfect for crunching on hard coral. 16 parrotfish. They do have unusual mouth, don't they? 18. These 18 weird-looking fish have multiple names. They be called pineapple fish, pinecone fish, and nightfish. They look like a pineapple, feel like a pinecone, and are spiked and armored like a medieval knight. Never seen those before. 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Skip count. 18. That's right. Now we're going to count 18 to 20. I got to turn the book sideways so you can see. Count 20 trumpet fish. They swim like other fish, but when they want to hide in coral and seaweed, they hover not horizontally, but vertically. If these fish could read, this is how they would figure out the type. 20, 22. This group of birds is called a flock. A group of birds is called a flock. A group of wolves is called a pack. A group of fish is called we've talked about this before. Remember the name for a group of fish? It's a school. Yep, 22 are Achilles tangs, and they stay in school. "24. Here is a school of 24 senoritas. When you see a school of fish, the fish are always the same size and species. Adult fish don't swim with the young, and the young don't swim with the adults." I didn't know that. 24. 26. Do you see 26 whale lice gross you out? Whales sometimes have lice, and these tiny crustaceans hook a ride on the whale and live on its skin. So those aren't stars or pimples. They're little lice. Yuck. I don't think I'd want lice like that. 26. 28. Sharks have a deadly reputation, but it's mostly undeserved. More people die each year from dog attacks than shark attacks. These 28 leopard sharks get their name from the pretty spots on them. 30. Look closely. The sneaky illustrator played a trick on your eyes. You can count the 30 lemon peels, but it will also be fun to learn the names of all the different fins on a fish. The caudal fish is on the tail. The dorsal fin is on the back. The pectoral fins are on the sides near the gills, and the anal fin is on the bottom. Hey, we did go over that the last time we did fish. Dorsal, anal, pectoral, and then the caudal fin is on the tail. And the pelvic fins are on the bottom closer to the head. There we go. Grandma sometimes learns new things too. 32. Ooh. Look at those. Let's go back in time. Pretend that all of a sudden it's a long, long time ago. And they're fish in the ocean, but the ones on the other pages of the book are not around yet. But then dinosaurs walked on the land. Tetrosaurus flew in the air, and Plesiosaurus swam in the ocean. These 32 elasmosaurs are a type of plesiosaur, an ocean reptile. Though not too many years ago, they caught a plesiosaurus off the coast of Japan. So, how long ago were things? Noah probably took dinosaurs on the ark. Could easily still be a plesiosaur in the ocean, but not very many. 34. Obviously, this fish gets its name from the math game of dominoes. And while you're counting the 34 domino damselfish, you'll notice that none of them have eyelids. Like all fish, they keep their eyes open all the time, even when they try to rest or go to sleep. Domino fish. 36. These 36 squirrelfish are easy to recognize. During the day, they squirrel themselves into little hiding crevices. And at night, it's dinner time, and their big eyes help them feed in the dark. 38. Something doesn't look right. What are those 38 fish? Look down. Then, huge foreheads, high eyes, and low mouths make it look like they are looking down. 40. Count the 40 bird-nosed wrastles. These fish have long snouts like anteaters. Their mouths are perfectly shaped for finding food in hard-to-reach places. Too bad there are no ants in the ocean. 40. 42. Like all other jellyfish, these 42 moon jellies swim at the mercy of the sea. If a jellyfish washes up on shore and the hot sun dries it out, hardly anything is left. Jellyfish are 95% water. 44. Run, turtles, run. Run as fast as you can. Watch out for the hungry crabs and seabirds. Then swim, swim as fast as you can. Watch out for sharks and other turtle-eating fish. Once these 44 green sea turtles make their mad dash for the ocean, they will swim for up to 24 hours straight before resting. Very few of these babies will live to become adults. "46. If you go swimming near these 46 barracudas, do not wear a watch or jewelry. Barracudas dart after shiny objects. They usually feed by sight, not by smell. 48. These fish really get around. Hundreds of species of gobies swim in all the world's oceans, except for the freezing cold of the Arctic and Antarctic oceans. Some gobies even live in fresh water. Here are 48 fire gobies. On to 50. We'll end this book with 50 fishing bats. Fishing isn't just for people. These bats sense a change in the surface of the ocean and then they swoop down and catch their supper. I didn't know there was such a thing as a fishing bat. Underwater, counting even numbers.